Welcome back to another episode of Beat the Bookies. We're having a great season this year. We've won 8 out of our 10 bets. And if Matt Stafford didn't absolutely shit the bed last week, we would have swept all 3 of our bets. This week, I have 3 bets for you guys and a bonus teaser. Stay tuned for a bunch of bets that are going to make you a buttload of cash. There are not a lot of YouTubers out there that are batting 80% in their bets in this NFL season. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you guys can continue to get the best bets on YouTube. The first bet of this week, we're going to do a 2-leg parlay with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Eagles are at home against the Washington Commanders, coming off a terrible loss last week to the Bills. I think it was 37-3. Their quarterback, Howell, got sacked 9 times, threw 4 picks. And the Bills' defensive line is good, but they're not as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles' defensive line is absolutely incredible. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. I mean, their defense. And they have Hassan Reddick, who's been underperforming this year. He had like 16 sacks last year. I mean, this defense is so unbelievably stacked. They're going to put a ton of pressure on Sam Howell and the Redskins. And I don't foresee any way that Washington can go on the road after that loss to Buffalo and beat the Eagles at home. I just don't see it happening. I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense is going to feed on a pretty good, Washington defense. Their defense is good, but they're going to be on the field a lot. So maybe the first quarter of this game is close, but I think as the game goes on, the Eagles are going to pull away because that defense is going to live on the field during this game. I love the Birds in this spot. The next leg of this parlay is the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road against the Houston Texans. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in this spot against a rookie quarterback. CJ Stroud has been pretty decent so far, but that offensive line is so beat up. They have like 3 offensive linemen, all that are questionable. They have another tackle that's on IR. I mean, this offensive line is thin, and they're 1 or 2 injuries away from being like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th guys up for this offensive line, and that doesn't bode well for a rookie quarterback. Their defense is okay, but I like Kenny Pickett in this spot. He looked like to get some of his mojo back last week. He looked pretty good. I think Kenny Pickett and that Steelers defense that forces a ton of turnovers is going to be very successful. That's why I love this 2-leg parlay at plus money. So plus 105. I dig that bet for the first bet of the week. My second bet for week 4 of the NFL is a Browns moneyline bet at minus 125. The Browns are at home against a Ravens team that struggled to even put away the Colts with backup quarterback Gardner Minshew. That offense for the Ravens is an all sorts of whack. I mean, J.K. Dobbins, no more. Gus Edwards is in concussion protocol. OBJ is hurt. Zay Flowers is a rookie. And this Browns defense is absolutely ferocious. They're one of the best defense in the NFL. The expected points allowed, they're ranked number 1 and then number 2 when they blitz. So they are a very, very, very stingy defense. And I don't think that the Ravens get right against the Browns at home. Lamar Jackson still has nobody to throw to. I mean, that offense is going to struggle to run the ball. They're going to struggle to pass the ball. And Deshaun Watson had his best game of the season last week. He looked really good. So as long as Deshaun Watson does not turn the ball over a lot, which I don't think he will, I think that Browns defense is going to force some turnovers, a bunch of 3-and-outs, and I like the Browns in this spot to get the W at home at minus 125. My next bet is a 3-leg parlay with 2 heavy favorites and a team I think the bookies messed up the line on. So we have the San Francisco 49ers at home against Arizona. Arizona had a surprise victory last week over the Dallas Cowboys, but the Cowboys were without 3 of their offensive linemen. So they underperformed on defense. Dak Prescott throwing picks in the end zone. I mean, the Cowboys played horrible. I mean, a lot of people thought that the Arizona Cardinals would have the number 1 pick in the draft. If they win over 5 games this year, I will be surprised. And San Francisco might be the best team in the NFL. They have a killer defense with Bosa and that offense with Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and young Brock Purdy. I like them here in this spot straight up. They are minus 900, so Vegas thinks they're big favorites. But when you parlay them with the Bengals at the Titans and the Eagles at home against Washington, you get plus 128 odds. I like Cincinnati in this spot. That defensive line looked great against the Rams. They put a ton of pressure on Matt Stafford, and I look for them to have a big game against a Tennessee Titans offensive line that's absolute bush league. They might have the worst left tackle in the NFL, and Andre Dillard. I think the Bengals are going to sack Tannehill like 5 times, 6 times in this game. And Tannehill's been terrible. Derrick Henry had like 20 rushing yards for like 1.8 yards a carry last week. The Titans' offense is in shambles. They are old at wide receiver with Hopkins. Derrick Henry, they can't block for him, so he's a big running back, so the holes need to be a little bit bigger. They can't even create any separation at all. I love the Bengals in this spot. I might actually do a Bengals bet straight up because at minus 150, you can't really beat that. And when you add them in the parlay, I like them even more. And then we have the Washington Commanders who played horrible last week. Howell got sacked 9 times. Oh my God, bro. That offense is bush. And they're going into Philadelphia, which everyone knows is a hostile environment. It's very hard to play there. It's going to be loud and chaotic when Washington is on offense. I think they get him 6-7 times this week. They're going to force some interceptions, probably some fumbles. I love the Eagles in this spot. So we go Eagles, Bengals, 49ers at plus money, plus 128. $20 bet wins you $25. I love that bet there. That is my bet of the week. If you want to call it a lock of the week, that's it right there, guys. If you're going to lay some cash down on any of my bets this week, lay it down on that bet faux show. And I have a bonus teaser for you guys, so stick around. Now it's time for some bonus bets here, guys. I have a great 4-leg, 11-point teaser for you guys. The 4 teams are the 49ers, the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Dolphins, right? So we're getting the 49ers minus 2.5, the Bengals plus 8.5, the Eagles plus 2, and the Dolphins at plus 14 at minus 105. So pretty much even money. I love all these games. The Dolphins getting 14 points against the Bills. I love that there. I talked about all 3 of those other games earlier, so we don't need to go over them again. But another crazy bet. We're doing even more bonuses for you guys. So if you do straight up parlay with the Eagles, the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Bengals, I think all 4 of those teams could very much win all those games. You're going to get plus 1148 on a 4-leg parlay. A $5 bet will net you $57. There are my bets for week 4 in the 2023 NFL season. I gave you some bonus bets in there too that could potentially win you guys a bunch of cash. I hope you guys like my bets. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like these bets? Am I out of my mind? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace. Go win some cash. Let's go.